So what would you say from a reader's perspective, but also from a librarian's perspective, are the main difficulties that African authors and publishers face right now?
I think definitely a major problem is distribution and getting into the major outlets. So for example, you could come to my library and you'll find a book. I posted a book on Instagram, which was called In Their Own Words, African Women Writers Talk. And it's an out of print book, but you can still get it if you search for it. And lots of people messaged me saying, oh, I really want to get this book. Do you sell it? And I said, no, but you can search for it online. You'll find it. And actually, that is the major problem. I have a lot of books that, I mean, some of them are still, I mean, most of them are in print, some of them are out of print, but trying to get access to those books is a real difficulty. So from a reader's perspective, access is definitely a problem. It's a problem for the writer and the publisher as well, because how to get your book into the hands of the people who you would like to read it most must be the most pressing concern of a writer and a publisher. So I think that's really an infrastructural issue, actually, and it's about stores, bookstores and editors and publishers not really valuing, again, the work of African writers. And we as a readership and as an audience and as a market have to demand these things or create the spaces for ourselves. And I think that's the way to kind of get around it.
So how about access of Ghanaian writers' work in Ghana? What is that like?
It's very difficult. I mean, actually, let me say it's kind of twofold. So Ghana has a very vibrant local publishing market. And so you can get those books quite easily, relatively easily. There are online bookstores that, you know, you can order from. They'll deliver to you tomorrow kind of thing. But they aren't the books that are available on the international market. It's very much the local publishing scene. So if you want books that are published locally, you can get those quite easily. But then if you want to get something like Ya Jesse's new book that's coming out later this year, or you want to get, even like I'm saying, Ama Ata Edu's older books or Aikwe Amar's books, they're very, very difficult to get hold of. And I'm not sure why that is, because there's definitely a demand for it. There's definitely demand, but it's probably to do with it being expensive to get them to Ghana in the first place, and then expensive to buy, and whether it makes it economically feasible for, you know, booksellers to sell it.
So what can we do about that? How can this be remedied in terms of distribution, more inclusive publishing? What would you say?
That's a tough one. I genuinely think that we need more of our own publishing houses. I mean, in the UK, obviously you have People Tree Press and Saki Books, you know, and others who are niche publishers and doing their best to get writing by ethnic minorities out there, or minoritized people, actually, I should say, trying to get, you know, writing out there. But in terms of on the continent, I think really we need to redevelop our publishing industries, because we used to have them, you know, back in Kwame Nkrumah's days. There was the State Publishing Company, there was Waterville House, I mean, all these other individual publishing companies as well. So something's obviously gone wrong. I think part of that is to do with the fact that we don't have a reading culture, as we like to say in Ghana, as much anymore, especially as compared to Nigeria. And people never like me comparing Ghana to the safe space. Yes, it's a safe space here, but I know when I get back to Ghana, that's going to be something else. But yeah, you know, obviously in Nigeria, you know, they have, you know, a very vibrant publishing and writing industry. In Ghana, we have it as well, but it's just, I think it's about internationalizing it. Actually, I think that's what the main thing is. It's about internationalizing it.
So from what you're saying, what is needed is more development in the publishing industry on the continent, so that the books can go out from the continent worldwide, rather than African writers' work from here, from the West, going outside and onto the continent, right? Exactly.
Because, you know, again, I'll probably be slammed for saying this, but you know, Ghana, if you think about contemporary Ghanaian writers today, we think of Tai Selassie and Ya Jesse, none of whom live in Ghana or were raised in Ghana. Like Ya Jesse was born in Ghana, but she left when she was 6. Tai Selassie was born in London and raised in the United States. But these are, you know, Ghanaian writers. And what we need are more Ghanaian born and raised writers writing about whatever they want to write about, coming and being successful in Ghana, but also internationally as well.
What do you think that will do to the stories that are going to be told?
Well, I hope it wouldn't change them. I hope that people wouldn't be writing, therefore, for like a Western audience. And this is why we need to have an industry in Ghana itself. And this is why I think Nigeria has, you know, excelled in this. I really do, because, you know, you can be a writer in Nigeria and survive and live and work as a writer in Nigeria without going outside, at least to a certain extent. Yeah. Whereas in Ghana, I'm not sure that's possible. And if you can survive in Nigeria as a writer, then you only need to write stories that you want to write for the people that you know, for the audience that you want to write it for. You don't have to, you know, write the immigrant narrative, which is all we seem to get from anywhere.
Or slave narrative.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's the immigrant or the slave narrative.
Yeah. How do you stay on, like, up to date with recent publications and up to date in your library? Because I'm sure you always want to have also the new stuff that people are interested in. How do you continue to get your books to your library? Yeah,
I mean, I travel here a lot. I buy books from here a lot. I buy books from America a lot as well. But, you know, actually, that's one of the reasons why I started buying out of print books, because it becomes very difficult to keep up with the publishing market, actually. And, you know, it's true that there is not as much literature by African writers being published, but at the same time, if you're a one-woman library, effectively, it's quite difficult to be able to afford to keep up with everything that's being published. And so, yeah, it's difficult, but we do keep up. And we've had the generosity of some publishers in the UK who've donated some books. So shout out to Saki Press, to People Tree Press. Who else? Now I've mentioned them. There are others I can't remember. Yeah, there's just, you know, publishers who've donated, which I really appreciate. Hearst Publishers as well, Myriad Editions. Yeah, loads of publishers who've been helpful. Shout out to everybody, definitely, and to individuals.
Has that been difficult to get?
Yes, definitely. Especially, you know, the main publishers who have donated have been the independent and the small publishers. Trying to get like a major publisher to donate, yeah, that's difficult.
And quite shameful.
It's quite shameful, because
but you don't expect them to send it to Ghana, right? You take it with you.
Yes.
So you even take care of the shipping,
yes,
the transportation. So anybody watching this wanting to donate books, relevant books,
definitely.
Not Dan Brown. No offense to Dan Brown.
Yeah, no offense to Dan Brown, Danielle Steele, and the others.
But if somebody wants to donate, they can get in touch with you.
Definitely, or with you, even.
Or with me. Have you ever considered opening a bookshop?
Yes, and that's definitely one of the things that we're hoping to do with the new space, because I would say the number one question that I've been asked, or probably number two question that I've been asked since I opened the library was, do you sell the books? And I can understand from a bibliophile's point of view why just having a library doesn't cut it, and why you would want to own the physical books. So definitely it's something that we're looking to do. And what I will say about the bookshop that we're hoping to open is that it won't be books that you can pick up anywhere. We want to specialize in books that are, again, out of print and rare, but also contemporary books that are signed by the author. So
you're going to want to start something that will cost Akaniene and I all of our money, because we'll have to travel to Ghana to come see you to buy the books. Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Definitely.
Bankrupt us.
You need to come. You need to have a reason to come. So,
but jokes aside, that sounds like an amazing idea. So in terms of what's next, we know, right? You are going to open a new library.
Yeah.
Where you can also, you know, stay, rent a room.
Yeah.
That sounds like a dream. When do you plan to officially open it or launch it? When can people start booking?
Yeah.
And then once it's up and running, what's the plan?
Okay, so we hope to launch it, not a big launch, but to open it and, you know, see how it goes in June or in July, around that time. Once it's up and running, I'm hoping that, yeah, all those people who've come to visit us from America and Haiti and, you know, other places in the Caribbean, they'll come and stay with us this time and be like a kid in a candy store and have, you know, access to the library, which will be operational, and come and, learn, read, research, have fun. We have a nice garden. Just come and hang out.